Giant crack in the rock. Oh, that's deep. Wow. Nice. These are decent walls. Why are they not just using them?
What it used to be.
Nice and slushy. Sent it. Alright guys, what's up? Haven't done a little voice update in a little while. We're on an island called Lundy. It's an English island right off the coast of England and Wales. So I can see both countries at the same time. We get to the very end of the island, which is only 2 miles long. Duncan does a jump from rock to rock and he lands really badly. He hurt his ankle and split his big toe open. So he was hopping, crawling, carried him on my back for a while. He had his arm over my shoulder. We did everything we could to try and get him as far or as close to the village as possible. There's no phone signal here. It's a very small island. If you look up Lundy Island, L-U-N-D-Y, you'll see it's just a tiny little island. I have to walk to the village, or I offered to walk to the village to try and find a vehicle that can come pick him up, take him back down to the boat, and then we'll dress his wounds and he can rest. He's really hoping it's not a fracture, because if it is, they might have to helicopter him out of here, which will mean I'm a crew member down, and then I don't know how easy it'll be for me to sail tomorrow and Wednesday to Cardiff. We've got about 2 days left before we get to Cardiff, but I don't know if I can do the Bristol Channel on my own, so I really hope he doesn't have to get a helicopter out of here. My job now to go find him. Oh yeah, and also my microphone broken. Mic broke today. Kind of interesting, it happened right before we left the boat. It just fell off the table and snapped the spring which holds the microphone on top of the camera, so now it's like we're wedged between my fingers. The audio might suck. Okay, in this episode so much happened that I just didn't talk about. I need to talk about it. So let's start with Lundy Island, the ankle break. At the time we didn't know how bad this accident was. Basically Duncan snapped his ankle and split his toe open. The toe thing was the only visual injury, so we thought it wasn't as bad as it could have been. He knew something was up because he couldn't put any pressure on it. Yeah, he crawled and hopped for a long time, maybe an hour of that, before I decided to go get help because it would have been way faster. I should have done that at the beginning, I just didn't really understand how bad the injury was. I didn't even capture the full jump because Duncan just sent it. It wasn't like for the video or anything, he was just doing this jump to do it. And we've been doing stuff like this the whole trip. You've seen the videos, you've seen me doing all these tricks, and both of us were doing crazy stunts the whole time. It's just unfortunate that it happened on this tiny little island 2 days before we ended the trip. Help has arrived.
Alright guys, thanks for helping me out. Right, do you want to sit down on there and then we'll have a look? Oh, that's not too bad. Take a seat with that. It's going to be on YouTube, isn't it? Okay, yeah, we're going to...
If you want it to be. It's quite a story. It's a funny place to just do all this. They drugged him up, and in the village we discussed what to do, and he had a long phone call with the air ambulance, and yeah, the last shot is the helicopter airlifting him away. I couldn't contact Simone or my dad because none of us had phone service out there, so we just had to walk around this tiny village and try to find each other. So yeah, huge shout out to the guys on Lundy Island for helping us out that day. It was really incredible of them. They didn't have to take time out of the day to do that, but they did, and I'm very grateful. So yeah, shout out to them, shout out to the air ambulance, everyone that helped Duncan out. And yeah, just a little update from Dunk. He is doing well. He is able to walk again. I asked him today how he's doing, and he sent me these photographs just to show you guys that he's back on his feet and he's in full recovery. He said his ankle is still pretty stiff, so he's in physiotherapy for that. I believe they had to put bolts in as well, so there's now some metal inside his ankle. It's really horrible to think about, and I feel so bad for him, but he's doing okay. Part of this journey I didn't explain it was I had to do all the sailing after this. The next morning we had to leave Lundy Island at a specific time to catch the tide going back into the Bristol Channel. It goes down between south of Wales and there's a chunk of England, so you're going down this like really small channel, and the tide moves very quickly. It'll pull you in or you push you out, so you have to time it so that it's pulling you in, otherwise you're just fighting it and not really getting anywhere. But there was also a massive named storm arriving. It was going right past Lundy, like right over Lundy. So we had to time it so that the tide was coming in and the wind was pushing us that way to kind of get to safety that day. So it was like maybe 8 hours of sailing, and we were pushing 10 to 14 knots because of the waves. The swell was lifting the boat up so high and then dropping us down the waves. I was basically surfing down waves with the wind pushing behind and being sucked by the tide. We managed to, I captured this on video at 10 knots here. It was so insane. It was the most terrifying sailing I've ever done. Probably because I was on my own, really doing all the work, but also just because I've never had to sail in a storm before, and I was basically running away from the storm, trying to get to safety on the other side. It was so nuts. Like fun, but just crazy.
10.1. I got a camera as well.
So unusual. There's like a rainbow just for us.
Yes, it is.
So we made it to safety that night, and then we were anchored up in this bay we have to wait a whole day because there's just the next day is just awful weather. We can't do anything. It's pushing 25 to 30 knots on anchor. And we've got the cliff sheltering us from the wind as well, but it's still hitting the boat at 30 knots. It was so insane. So when I show the instruments like this, 25 knots is fast. You don't want to sail in that. We had to just stay still. I had the worst night's sleep those 2 nights because the boat's just going like throwing everything everywhere. The anchor was getting dragged along the ground, or along the seabed. The instrument that I show you there, that black line, is the line of where the anchor's dragged, where the boat's gone. So the boat's moving along this black line. The scribble is good. It means we're staying in one place. The boat moves around, but it's staying on the anchor. And then the line that goes really far out means we've been dragging. And we were dragging out to sea because the wind was 30 knots, the anchor was loose, and we were just getting pushed out to sea into the channel in a storm. So the 3 of us had to get up on deck. My dad did all the heavy work. He was in charge of pulling the anchor out. It took us like 30-40 minutes to get that anchor up because we couldn't communicate with each other. The wind was so loud that we couldn't talk. I've left music out of this section so you can just kind of hear the raw audio of how difficult it was. I probably have to put some subtitles on there as well. It's so hectic just trying to communicate with my dad while he's in the storm. He can't hear much because the wind and the rain is just peltering him. Yeah, we had to motor against the wind, trying to get back to where we were and then anchor again. Alright, at least we're facing a better direction now. I just don't hear him pulling the anchor up at all. Is the anchor up? What's wrong? Alright, do you want to take the tiller then? I'll go help him. Keep it pushing this way.
Pushing this way.
Yeah. My phone here in case I fall in.
Yeah, well, not that.
Do anything about that. Stay low to the ground. Let me try and drive into it. I'll try and drive into it. Yeah, but I don't know how far to drive. I can't even tell if I'm going forward. Sorry? No, if it's working, put your arm in the air. You hear that? I said if it's working, put your arm in the air. Because I can't hear anything. Alright, got it. Problem is it's pulling us that way too much because you can't pull the anchor in. Yeah. So I'm going to try and drive forward into the anchor. Oh, the chain's in the way. The chain is in the way. Okay, you push the door. Push the door under the chain. I'll pull the chain. Ready? Ready. Ready. I'll pull it through. Okay. Yeah, done. Okay. Alright, start winching and I'll drive it. It's difficult. It's got the chain out. Yeah, keep going. 15 meters left to go, 1-5. Five meters left.
I was going to carry on like that for much longer.
I was hoping the weather would stop so I could fix it. But... And then the next morning we were up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and we had to sail across the channel again to the Welsh side, because we camped on the English side, to get to Barry. Now Barry is where my family's from. We had a small window opportunity to get the boat there safely, because when the tide goes out, it recedes a lot in the area, the docking area. So we had to kind of get this window, we had like an hour window where we could arrive, get it onto this machine, and then get pulled out of the water. Luckily, getting it onto the machine was quite easy. It was quite calm that morning as well. So yeah, it all worked out. Just to remind you guys, I don't really have any sailing experience. I've done a bit of sailing, but I'm not an experienced sailor at all. So that's why all these crazy things are just so much, they're amplified for me, because I don't have the experience, and I'm not a calm sailor because I haven't had the experience in these situations. So just keep that in mind when you're watching these videos. Like, this is the last episode, by the way. This is the last episode of the sailing, because now the boat is out of the water. We didn't end up in Spain because all the borders were shutting and we couldn't because of COVID. So we had to put it in South Wales, where we're now doing some more repairs, and then we'll get it back in the water again. I don't know if I'll be able to do any more sailing. It's very stressful. Maybe if I'm qualified, I'll get back in the boat, but without the qualifications, I just don't feel ready enough to take charge of that thing. We made it to the end.
From beginning to end, that's good.
Got it. Nice one. That thing. So we made it to Barry. We're now taking the boat out of the water to park it. Yeah, it's interesting. Mission complete. It's taken so much work to get the boat here. Now we're being hoisted out of the water and stored over there. So this is Barry, this is where my dad's from. So his family lives here. We decided to park it here to get a whole bunch of work done. It's probably really loud, it's alright. So this is the thing that I had to park on. I'm still hallucinating movement. Everything I look at is swaying. Been at sea for like 3-4 days straight. Now it's over. It's finally finished. Made it back. What a mission. What an absolute mission. Mission accomplished. I don't remember the colour green being so green. What's up with it? Why does it look so green? Why is everything so green? All I've been seeing is blue. And that's it, just blue. Get some green back in my life. Thank you for watching all 10 of these episodes. This is episode 10 of the sailing. If you want to watch the rest of the episodes, you can click here on the screen. This is a playlist to show you all the episodes. There'll be a short documentary about my dad going up on the main channel next. That's what I gotta finish now. And then you'll see my hiking video where I walked across England. But that'll probably be on the main channel, not this channel. So this channel, I've got some more vlogs coming. Yeah, it feels good. I hope you've enjoyed the series. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. What a crazy, crazy time. That's been my summer anyway. Hope your summer was eventful also. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this thing. Let me know what you thought. See you guys in the next one.